Hey guys, how are you? I'm sitting here in my reading sweater, lounging on the reader. I don't know if that's what this is called, but I sit here and read, and I thought I'd give you another taste of the Southern Gothic Book Club. Listen, I know the last book that I recommended to you, The Film Club by David Gilmour. I told you it was the best book I had read all year. And at the time, I meant it. And it's a great book. Great book. But since then, I've read another book, and I am so honest when I say that this is the best book I've read all year. And maybe in the past 2 years, I love this book so much. It is called Tunneling to the Center of the Earth by Kevin Wilson. It's about, I think, 10 to 12 short stories, which I really love. I love Flannery O'Connor's stories, and John Cheever, and Miranda July's recent, not so recent book of short stories. It's about 2 years old, but that's a great book too. You should pick it up, Miranda July. But this book is so great. It's very rare that I read something that makes me envious, and this book does that to me, which I love. I love reading something and really wishing that I had come up with the ideas for these stories, because they're amazing. From the very first one that I read, it's called Grand Stand-In, and it's just about a company that hires older people, that could be grandparents, I'll say, to basically stand in as these fraudulent grandparents to other families. And the way the story plays out is amazing. And I actually think it would be an amazing feature, starring Beth Grant. Blowing Up on the Spot is a short story about this guy who works in a Scrabble tile factory. He has a nice little love story that happens, and his parents spontaneously combusted, which is really great. Birds in the House was another fantastic story about the matriarch of this family had died, and to find out who was going to be the heir to her house, the rest of the family had to make 1,000 paper cranes and put them on this table, and they had fans blowing, and the one paper crane that remained, that was the person who was going to get the house. The Shooting Man is a story of this guy who shoots himself in the head and lives. It's actually a story about the people who are going to see him. There's a great story about a cheerleader who hates to be a cheerleader. Another one about the Museum of Whatnot, it's called, and it's about this woman who works in this museum. She's the curator for collections of nonsense. And this book is just so great. Somebody said Kevin Wilson is the unholy child of George Saunders and Carson McCullers. Jesus Christ, is this guy good? And he is. He's so good. And he's just so clever. And it's really one of the first things I've read in quite a while where I don't want to miss a sentence. I want to read. It says, meet the author. He wrote, I started writing stories because I was lonely. I wish that there were more artistic and noble reasons that I put pen to paper. But the truth of the matter is that I wanted people to kiss me. And I had the unfounded notion that if I wrote a good enough story, people would be compelled to make out with me. Guys, that's why I write. Me and Kevin are one and the same, it seems. I just want people to make out with me. And, I think I'm on my way. So, do yourself a favor. Pick up this frickin' book. It's amazing.